I like that.
Yeah. Well, you know what, T? So you're the guest. You know, we got a beer in. What you got today?
Beer in. Oh my God.
Ooh, fancy.
Yo.
We got the Perrier.
Yeah, high alcohol.
Yeah, you got to understand, we don't have, that's not what Hank trying to negotiate too high. We don't got Perrier budget over here.
Hey, I'm just setting the standard, pimp. That's all.
Well, Auntie, give us your background, you know, other than being my awesome Aunt Carol, you know.
Oh, my background. Okay.
Hold on. Just 1 second. I didn't know you needed that. That's an additional cost. I'm going to get out of here, guys. Who want to say hi?
Okay.
Good to see you, man. All right. Love you.
Love you too.
So my background. Well, I'll start with after high school. Like I'm going way back, but it's a story to tell. So after high school, I graduated and I went to MSU. I majored in computer programming. I worked as a programmer for 8 years. And after that, I got laid off and I decided to go to cosmetology school. I packed my bags and moved to North Carolina. And I went to Dudley's Cosmetology University, stayed there for 4 years. And Dudley's was an awesome place because it was Black owned. They, at the time, they made relaxers and all these various different hair products. And it gave me an opportunity to be a student. And so when I left, when I packed my bags to leave, I was 33 years old. And I packed up the kids, Brandon and Hendrix, and we moved there and we met people there eventually that were just like family. But working at Dudley's, I was a student. I also was a worker. They had a hotel. So I worked at the hotel. And I worked behind the scenes on different magazines that they produced. I worked on the assembly line, producing hair products and all of that. But in the meantime at Dudley's, one week, you know, we had the student competitions, and this guy entered me into the competition. So you had to have the total head to toe look. So your hair had to be done, makeup done, clothes had to go in sync with the competition. So he cut my hair into an Afro style. When I first entered Dudley's, my hair was straight. He cut my hair into a natural hairstyle. And amazingly, at this Black Cosmetology University, it was like a big no-no.
What year was this?
Huh? This was, I went to school there back in 1993.
And that was a no-no back then?
Yes, I was down south, 1993, and boy, oh boy.
Auntie, I gotta stop you. There's some paidness that just happened on the screen. Auntie, Aunt Kristen brought up this trophy that she likes to bring out. some pettiness.
I can't believe
Grandpa over here about a bet about this dollar.
Oh boy, don't bring up the bets.
She lost the bet too.
Yeah.
Let's get Hank back in
here. I'm glad you all didn't bring that up.
Man, how did we miss that?
Oh, I can text my brother and tell him to get back on.
Yeah. You know, let's not interrupt. This is Auntie's day.
Okay, but anyway.
But yeah, so 1993, that was a big no-no. I never knew all this stuff about it, so I'm intrigued. Keep going.
Okay.
Auntie have been a world traveler.
Yeah.
So it was 1993, and I was told that for my employment, I needed to change my hair. I needed to wear it straight. For
Wow.
they were going on this field trip, and I was told that I couldn't go because they were going to like a hair show.
This is a
And-
Black-owned university?
Yes, this was Dudley. They make products now.
Like,
And
yeah.
I'm not slighting them because I gained so much from them as far
Tell the
as,
truth and shame the devil.
pardon me?
Tell the truth and shame the devil.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So I gained so much from them, but at the same time, that's where they were in their hair journey. But I did stand my ground. I never relaxed my hair again. I didn't want to put the chemicals in. I didn't feel a need to go along with the Dudley image. That's what they called it.
Wow.
So
That's
I did stop working there. And at the time, I felt like I had a lawsuit. I was just talking to Brandon about this. And he was saying, you might have a lawsuit now, but then you might not have had one because
Right.
That's true.
yeah, the culture wasn't there.
Yeah.
So at any rate, I ended up eventually coming home and, working in the salon and whatever. Then I started teaching. And I've just been on this journey to promote the love of our natural hair, the way it grows out of our scalp naturally. Yes. And not just, women need to embrace it, but men too.
Mm-hmm.
Another incident that I never knew about until later, like recent years, Brandon and him told me that they used to get teased in school.
Because of your hair?
Mother. Yes.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, Carol, I'm so with you. I tell everybody, I'm not opposed to folks who like to play around with hair because that's a great thing about our hair. You can, you can make it whatever you want to. But, I do get concerned when Black women don't want to go natural. Because my thing is, I feel like every Black woman should be natural for at least 2 years. Like you said, get to see your hair for what it is, the amazingness that it is, just what can be done with it. And it's crazy how many people are, stop being a hater, how many people are afraid of natural hair. And then how many Black men, they're finally getting on board with it. But for the longest, it would be a whole thing if a woman had natural hair. They didn't know how to, I can't tell you how many times I got called Jill Scott and Erykah Badu because they didn't know anybody else that had natural hair when I was natural.
I'm not sure that was an insult, Auntie.
No, it wasn't an insult in those instances. It was sad that they didn't know anybody else. I don't look like either one of them.
And that they had to give you a label just because you were wearing your natural hair.
I had this one guy tell me when I had my locks, you know how they downtown Chicago, wherever, major cities, and they're trying to get people to sign petitions, right? And so they're trying to stop you like, hey, this guy looked at me when I had my locks. He said, you're obviously an activist. Can I talk to you? I said, why? He said, looking at your hair, you're obviously an activist. You just gonna throw me in a hole, I said, so tell me something else about myself.
You misheard him. He said you're activated. He knows that you know.
Then I asked him, I said, if my hair was straight, what would you say? What would you expect? He said, I would say you probably very smart and professional. I said, so because my hair is in locks and you don't even assume that I'm smart. You just feel I'm an activist? Yes, it was a whole conversation over here.
Well, Auntie, now you in it. Now you got a beer in. What you got today?
Ooh, child. We got some good stuff. I don't have that fancy Perrier that I love my sister, but she lost. Right there. But the beer today is by Hailstorm. It's called Arctic Ale. It's another barley wine. Mm-hmm. And this bad boy is 12.5%?
I was about to say 15 years old. I was like, dang.
Yeah, it's 15.3% ABV. So yeah, that's what we have over here today.
Okay.
And what is it? Wine? Did you say?
It's a barley wine beer.
Barley. Right.
Yeah. So
They always
typically
do that, I think.
they're a little sweet, but boozy.
Oh.
Oh, look at that. Ooh,
Out
child.
of head.
It's a lot of head, nephew. It's a lot of head.
It's important.
Your uncle says it's important.
I'm a beer in too. I got this. I don't know, this Rubus.
Oh yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Raspberry.
Okay.
It was
Yeah.
brought to you by the one of our sponsors, Mama. I even got a glass today because I was reading the comments a few times and people kept saying with angry faces that I don't got a glass. So to put the glass up this
That
time.
look good though.
You know what? You could market, Josh, some glasses.
There you go.
Beer glasses with
We
your
need to
the
get some
name of your
glasses
show.
made.
Yeah.
We could do that. That's a good point. And speaking of market, before I rate this, shout out to Weed Juice, our real sponsor of the show,
Oh.
who actually sends the stuff. Weed Juice, we're actually gonna get some juices in here so we can model them off soon. Drink your vitamins. Like Grandpa is actually he's getting sponsored by them next time he does Senior Olympics. Gonna get himself some swag. Weed Juice, use coupon code CBZ10, get $10 off. Weed Juice, drink your vitamins. This is not that. This is beer.
That's every time that you order, you can use that code. So it's no limit. Every time you order CBZ10, you get $10 off.
Right on.
Man, this is actually pretty good. This is like a 7.75.
Yeah, you're gonna take that down fast.
Yeah, you're gonna like
really
that.
sweet. Pops, what you drinking?
He's on mute.
He can hear us though.
He's drinking the same thing, the blonde.
Oh yeah, dirty blonde.
Yeah, he ain't ran out of that yet.
He likes that one. I wish we could hear it.
I'm gonna fix it this weekend. I'm gonna go down there and like figure out what's going on.
It's hard to say this, but it's so.
Was he on last week, Josh?
Huh?
Was he able to get on last week?
We were able to get on, yeah, but I got to fix Grandpa's thing where he got signed out of Zoom. So I've been sending him the codes to get in because I haven't gotten down there yet, but I'll go down there this weekend.
Yeah, because last week he was fine. That was 2 or 3 weeks ago when this was happening.
Yeah, it's got to be something though. Like what I think is actually happening is I think because in our area, Comcast and like whoever else does the internet around here has been digging up the ground and stuff. So I assume they might be doing that in Inkster too. That might be messing up some stuff for them.
Gotcha. All right. So did you already taste it?
I did. Not.
What's your rating?
So what you rate it? I'm thinking from the smell. I'm thinking it's gonna be about a 6.5, 7.
I was thinking 7.
Okay. I'm rude. Carol, what you rate your Perrier?
So what's the scale? 1 to 10?
It used to be 1 to 5, but then Grandpa just kept making up numbers. So we said 1 to 10.
10. All the way. 10.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah, Auntie holds the bottle and she tilts her head and smiles.
She is professional. You ain't hear her background. She said I was doing magazine stuff. She knows all of that. That's why her social media game is on point.
So how do you determine if it's a 6 or 7, just the taste, or
it's all arbitrary in how we feel that day. Our rating system is fickle like we are. It could be anything at any time.
And Pops, when he really likes something, the most Pops is gonna give it a 6.
Yeah.
If you get a 6, that means it's delicious. Pops is real tough on those ratings.
Dang, I wish he could hear and talk. We could hear him.
He gave Budweiser a pretty high rating.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Budweiser a pretty high rating.
I think he's trying to unmute now. Try to unmute and see what happens, Pops. Because the last time that happened, we would have like a minute or two of goodness and then it'll echo.
Oh yeah, that one day we were just like, whatever, we're just gonna do the whole show no matter what.
No matter what.
It sounded like a car crash was going on in the whole episode. But
no, Pops, we can't hear you because you're muted. You have to hit the microphone to click unmute.
I hit them to ask unmute button.
Oh, okay.
Well, Grandpa's doing that. Tell us more about your journey now. So you're back in Detroit. Are you working at a salon, or are you teaching?
Yeah, I came back to Detroit and I started working at J.C. Penney's in Fairlane. As a matter of fact, I worked there for some years, 4 or 5 years, and then I went on and I got my cosmetology instructor's license. And I started teaching with the public school system, okay, high school students, whereby they would go to school half a day and then come back to our program half a day. And I did that for 10 years. And I'm looking at Pops. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm so unmuted now. That's why it's.
And I was blessed to be able to walk away from that position. I give my husband credit for that. Because, you know, it was a family decision, and so he was okay to leave. So I've been working in a natural hair salon. I never thought I'd go back to a salon, but I'm glad I did. There's so much to learn. And ultimately, I want to help women who are on this natural hair journey to learn how to style their hair, help them cultivate a love for their hair, and just embrace it, celebrate it. It's nothing to be ashamed of. We have the versatility, as you said, Crystal, to, you know, if we want to wear a weave, if we want to wear it straight, if we want to wear it curly, we have that versatility. But my main thing is for women to love the hair the way God blessed them. You know, your natural hair. If you don't love that, if you're ashamed of that, that's an issue.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
So what's the plan moving forward? Are you going to think about, you know, maybe opening your own school?
No, I don't want to open a school, and I don't want to open a salon. However, I do plan to teach. I planned either one-on-one classes. I just had a one-on-one hair cutting class, my first one. So I'd like to teach natural hairstyling as well as hair cutting, and even cosmetologists or students that are having problems with passing the state board. I can help with that as well.
What you're saying before about the natural hair thing and how it was looked at differently. At what point did you see the shift where it was like, now people are not saying that? How did you feel when it happened, when they told you you couldn't go because your natural hair? And when did you see
that was 1993?
And when did you see the shift happen?
It was starting to shift then, but I don't know, Crystal, would you say about the last 10 years or so, women have really been trying to, you know, I've seen more natural hair products.
Yeah.
I've seen.
I think we're getting more comfortable with it, and we're forcing corporate America, period, to accept it. But there is still, I've been out of corporate America now for a year and a half. And even while I was there.
That's a lie, Auntie.
What?
You're a corporation.
I said corporate America. I run my business how I want to. But working inside of an organization, especially where it is predominantly white, and I'm the only, you know, it was very common when I was, you know, as a corporate trainer, I could go in the room and I will be the only Black face in there, period, you know. And so I used to wear what I consider to be my non-threatening hairstyles when I did that. You know, it wasn't as comfortable to rock out with a fro, you know, when I had to travel. So I would do twists, you know, something that, you know, twisted closer to my scalp, you know.
Yeah, because the volume is what gets
Yes, that's what they was like.
Volume is what they can't deal with.
What got me was the day they searched my hair at the airport.
Really?
I was like, yes. She said, we need to, and I have no body pins, no nothing. And she said, we need to search your hair. And I said, did it go off? She said, no, but we need to search your hair. So I'm in the airport and this lady, white lady, is all in my head. And I was like, I'll never go through this again. So every time I traveled, I twisted my hair, you know, made it to where it was easier so I didn't look as threatening with my hair. And it's right, exactly, Carol. That's exactly how I felt.
You went to the airport with too much confidence. That's what they were upset about.
But you know what though? I got to the point like what I have on right now. This is absolutely something I would wear in the airport. I started wearing all the black shirts I could find.
Love that.
Every black shirt I could find, I was wearing it every time I traveled. I didn't, you know, 'cause I would wear my big Africa earrings, you know, because I cut my hair, but it's just that whole acceptance of our natural hair is still, and especially like you said, as bigger it is, the more uncomfortable it makes people. I know way too many people when it's time for them to interview, they're like, oh, what should I do with my hair? Should I, you know, twist it back, whatever, just being afraid to wear it in our fullness. I say rock it.
Since we're talking about acceptance and all that, I want to ask y'all a question. I'm not sure if y'all seen this, but on social media, there's a video going around of this modeling agency or this movie or whatever, where they had painted this white woman in blackface and gave her like an afro and all that. Like, what do y'all think about that?
Blackface.
It was like beyond blackface. Like she had like, so she had like her hair tied down or
They
whatever.
gave her baby hair.
Yeah, like you know how they put the mask on, like the molded mask on. She had one of them on, and it had a whole hairstyle to it and everything. So like at the end, they took it off, like unpeeled the whole thing, her hair, face. And it was a blue-eyed blonde hair white girl.
Okay.
Looked like, man, you thought it was a weird looking black woman.
A weird look.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, well, she's eccentric.
I felt the GMO vibes. I felt the GMO vibes.
Yeah, but then
yes,
right, yeah, I thought, you know, like too much, you know, Botox and all of that. That's kind of like what it looked like.
Okay.
But then they pulled it all off, and it was like, oh my God.
Look on Twitter or YouTube, if you just type in white girl blackface, it'll probably come up right now.
Yeah, that'll probably come up.
I'm pulling it up right now.
We're on live now. What if someone else wants to see?
It's Ashley's birthday.
Hey, birthday, girl.
Happy birthday, girl. Oh, she looks so beautiful. I tell you, my niece be killing it, y'all. Come on, niece. Come on, niece. Nephew, have you counted your blessings today?
I only 1 and 2. My son is somewhere else.
Good answer.
Happy birthday, niece.
Thank you very, very much. I have not done any productive work today, so I actually have to go log in and
that's a good thing. That's the way you're supposed to spend
see how even on the day that I'm celebrating me, I bring my husband his plate of food, my king, my everything.
Oh, look at that.
Good job, woman.
Or as Pops would say, that's because the black woman takes care of everything. We always got y'all back. Ain't that right, Pops?
Give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, grip a tail.
Give us a smile.
Thumbs up.
The black woman takes care of everything.
I'm come back in here after I send this email.
Okay. This is good. But yeah, but it was so strange because people were always talking about, you know, what's like you guys were talking about, like what's business casual or like what's acceptable in the workplace. And here they are, is like, you know what, we need a black person, but we don't quite want to use one. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
they'll do Build-A-Bear black people now.
Yeah, because it had to be easier to just get a black girl. Like,
it's probably cheaper.
And like, why paint her up? Like, if you wanted to use the white girl, why paint her? Like,
so what was the product or service?
It was like a show or something.
I didn't know the thing was, I just saw the video without sound on because I was just like, what is this? Because like someone's like, you know how you scroll through social media and you see something like that don't look quite right, and so I watched it a little bit, And then when I see them grab the top of her head and peel it back, and there was a bunch of blonde straight hair, I'm like, this is some trick baggery right here. This is some witchcraft.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'm
Josh,
gonna try to.
people are able to watch this show live now.
Yeah, we're live. We're live right now.
So, how, if someone wants to watch, where do they go? YouTube?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can go on YouTube or you can go to my Facebook and just click on the link and it'll show you right there. I posted it on there.
Okay.
They can leave comments to interact with us and everything.
Yeah, all that.
I need Pops to mute. I just want Pops to say, I gotta hear my mans. I gotta hear
You
that.
gotta fix his audio because it keeps spazzing.
Well, we can deal with spasm for a little bit.
Well, Grandpa, you gotta unmute yourself again. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting because like number one, first, thank you, Aunt Carol, for telling us like all this stuff about your journey. Yeah. I did not know any of this. This is amazing.
Oh, really?
I never knew you lived in North Carolina.
No, like what was it like that moment where you said that dude made your hair into an afro and you said you're just never going back? Like that was that moment for you, right? Or was it something before that?
Yeah, well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, I was at a Black university. I'm thinking it wouldn't be a problem. What's the big deal? But at the time, it's all about marketing on their part and their image. And their main objective was to sell relaxers.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had the image. And the image was a woman without a relaxer in her hair. Without that straight hair. So that was a problem. And you know, even when I was in North Carolina and I started working in the salon, it was a little difficult sometimes building clientele because you look at my hair and think, can she do hair like that?
Yeah. It's interesting how many people were like, I remember people like, what are you doing with your hair? And, you know, what's your plans for your hair? This and that, and then, oh my goodness, when I locked my hair, I could never, because I just, but even the emergence and the popularity of faux locks, it's just amazing how people are accepting and transitioning to believing that natural hair on women. Huh?
What is a faux lock for people who don't know?
Oh, faux locks are when women get extensions that when women get extensions that look like dreadlocks, look like locks.
Okay.
But they're just extensions.
Yeah.
So yeah, when you had Pops on mute, I was gonna ask him what he thought of the transition.
He fell back. He was unmuted.
Yeah, he was, and then I thought you muted him again.
No,
oh, okay. Pops, you gotta try to unmute yourself again, because I'm curious as to, like, when I even look back at old movies and stuff like that, prior to what, the 60s, it seemed like the afro, the acceptance of an afro to straight hair and all that stuff is so cyclical, just like everything else.
Yeah,
but prior to like the 60s, you didn't see too many anybody wearing fros. Am I missing that? Am I right or wrong?
I think that's about right. Yep.
And the men was conquering their hair.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, so Pops is, there we go. Pops, can you hear us?
So yeah, I think that's correct. And then say, because 70-ish, late 70s, early 80s, it kind of went into the girls. And then we went into just, you know,
weave,
relaxers and weave. So that's another thing, the weave. People think the weave, you know, it grows in hair, but I've seen so much damage from weave, so much hair loss, so much bald, so much lack.
They ain't got no edges.
Who started saying that getting weave will protect your hair?
Well, people selling weave.
I saw this. Women started going through this trend whereby they didn't want to comb their hair. And a weave was an opportunity for them not to comb their hair. They didn't know how to style their hair. It was just easy breezy for them to.
You being nice. It let them look like white girls.
Oh,
That is so.
I said, yeah, I ain't afraid to say. Y'all know what it is. It's that, white woman complex that's be put into us as children, right? Like, cause that's where it starts.
Because I will tell you, I remember I wanted to be the white girl. And this is real talk. I wanted to be the white girl. Remember in all the movies and shows, forget you, Joshua. But I'm talking about.
I wanted to say it so bad.
No, y'all gotta hit a rest. When they
I'll make sure next time you come to the house, Tim, and have you a spritzer ready.
Oh, I drink a spritzer. Don't get it twisted. But I thought the epitome of beauty, especially when it came to our hair, when they would get out of the pool and their hair was just stuck to their head and just flowing down their back. I was like, oh, I want my hair like that. Like, because they always made that to be like the sexiest thing, the most attractive thing, and all of that. And it's just like,
yeah, we've all been brainwashed to believe that. And I had good enough for any occasion. I was watching something earlier, and they were giving Elizabeth Taylor credit for her, part that she did with AIDS and everything. I think her granddaughters were talking about her. But they also mentioned the great role she played and as a Cleopatra. And it's like, why? Why couldn't they give that role to a Black woman?
Still in history.
Won a Grammy and made, an Oscar and made millions off of that role as Cleopatra. That wouldn't fly today.
Look here, I'm about to become an actress. I'm about to be an actress, and I'm gonna play the role of Kris Jenner.
They made a movie about Egypt where all the gods were white, except for Chadwick Boseman, who was the god of thought, which was Toph. But and even that's a Greek name. I forgot what his Egyptian real name is. But like it had Gerard Butler in it, and all. This was like 3 years ago. It was called Gods of Egypt, and like most of it was white. It flopped though because people were like, we're tired of it. We can't keep supporting y'all doing this. And like they spent a lot of money because it looked like an actual, like they put a lot of money behind this movie. But it's just lies. It's just like when they had the movie about Moses, where it was my man who played Batman in the last couple of Batman movies, not Ben Affleck, but the one before him, where he played Moses, and like everybody from Pharaoh to everybody was lighter than me and Auntie Gristle, which is hard in Egypt.
Darker than you, nephew. Don't do me.
We're the same, but we're the same complexion. But but it's interesting that you guys like keep talking about these things where you had to grow up, and even to this day having to have to feel like you have to educate Black people about their hair texture. But like now we are talking about 3 examples where white media has decided that we're gonna take not only your appearance in the instance with the lady where they made her look like a Black woman, but we're gonna also take your history and culture. Like it doesn't make it. It's wild, and people will try to say like, well, it's just hair. It's not important. Everything's important because if people aren't trying to copy you, it wouldn't be important. If people are trying to copy, it means it's important. It means it's something they want. It means it's covetable. And if you have something covetable, you have something of value.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? And Carol, to hear that the boys were teased because of your hair, that's disgusting and sad. But that was another reason why I wanted to be natural, because I wanted my boys to see that representation early. And I loved it because the oldest used to have a crush on this girl because she used to wear her hair braided with these beads. But the fact that they loved women and girls who had natural hair early on, I think, of course, it starts in the home. If they see that their mother is natural, their mother has, just the natural beauty, is not doing a lot but still fly. And if you think back on the women that they've chosen, they're not choosing these made up, all extra type women. They're finding women with natural beauty like their mom.
Yes.
That's my sister Fly, y'all. Check her out.
Pooh, you said, do you think that movie would fly now with the white woman playing Cleopatra?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the one Joshua said, flop. That one flopped, but I mean, this the same old Hollywood script. This is what they always do. And like in the last few years, you know, it's been cool to be black, but y'all know we gonna go out of style again.
Yeah.
Y'all know this American fatigue for equality. You know, they gonna get tired of it, just like they got tired of the mask. I don't want to wear no mask. It's repressive. It's driving me crazy. Like, I don't want to call them equal. They're not. I'm tired of that. We did that 2 years ago. Black Lives Matter. Right?
What about equality?
They
So
tired of it now.
About how,
Tired of it now, yeah.
I was reading about how they're talking about where you guys live at in Chicago. They're quote unquote giving them reparations. If you read the documents, they're real reparations. But all I saw was a bunch of white people mad. Like, what about the Indians? What about the Union soldiers who fought in the Civil War and blah blah blah? I'm like, what does that have to do with the price of tea in China? Like, what are you talking about? And it's constantly white people telling on themselves. I'll say it like this: racist white people telling on themselves about things where it's just like everyone's like. Is a perfect example when we always talk about Grandpa talking about incremental change, and we a few weeks ago we talked about it.
You got to drink.
Oh,
Think, Aaron, when you hear incremental change in Cuba, you drink.
Incremental change, and how we talked about how the Japanese only had one representative in the government at the time, or in the House of Representatives high up, and they got reparations. Only one. And we've had, like, by Grandpa's reckoning, like several hundred black people. We ain't got reparations. It's not about how much people you got. It's about what you're willing to do to get it. What'd you say?
Oh, sorry. I just saw a black guy riding a horse. So I hit the horn and said whatever.
But yeah,
So I live on Pembroke, and so I'm coming across Livernois going down Pembroke. I see black guy riding the horse, got a mask on and everything, so you know he's proper precaution.
he's not a police officer.
no,
He was definitely not a police officer. He was just a black guy riding the horse. He actually had a U of M hat on.
Wow.
You hear that, nephew? I think he said that just for you. I really do. I really do.
No, I'm a Michigan State guy too, so that I just I'm a Michigan State guy. So
We don't deny Michigan State people. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But if
Oh,
he
that's
wasn't on
right,
the horse,
Carol too.
Right.
I forgot, y'all. But the thing is,
But hold on, with like you were saying, racist white people. I don't even like to address racist white people anymore, and I'll just say white people, because through their silence, the good white people allow these racist white people to speak on their behalf and to execute all of these things. And these good white people honestly don't give a damn about what's happening to us and the pain and suffering that their neglect is causing. So I don't let them off of the hook, because you know damn well if something was oppressing their children and their babies, they flip this country over. But because it's happening to yours, they only give you mouth service on equality and American dream and we all one people. All of that shit is talk. It's all fine and dandy when it's up to their children, but when it's your children, they don't give a damn. So I don't let them off the hook either.
I gotta say, I think there are some white people who do get a pass where there is a distinction, because you said, what'd you say? Racist versus the good white people. There are some good ones that allow, not a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't going. It ain't enough. You know what I mean? It ain't enough. The problem of American racism is not a black issue. That's a white people issue. This shit is y'all fucking issue. You are allowing your cousins and your uncles and your aunts, you sit down and break bread with them every week, every family reunion. They've been the same for 50 years. They raising the grandchildren the same way. You know exactly what's happening. You don't give a damn because it doesn't happen to you. Anything that they do, it only benefits you and your children. So you don't actually care. You just like to talk like you do. That's why it's all talk for inclusion and all of this. It's not really talk about righting any of the wrongs. It's just talking about let's make us feel better about how we're treating them and the things that are happening to them. Let's not acknowledge it. Let's just ask a bunch of random questions as if we don't know what's happening. Like Jane Elliott said, she basically said, which one, everybody all white people raise your hand that would trade places with a black person in this country. And she said, well, I can't understand why nobody's raising their hand. Now that tells me everything I need to know. That means you know what's going on. You know exactly what's happening. You know you don't want it for you and your children. I'm trying to figure out, why do you feel like it's okay to happen to anybody else?
Well, let's tie it back to Auntie's whole experience. I mean, she went to a black university. She got her education for cosmetology and all that. And it took years for her to see the change, even within our community, based on the standards of beauty that we didn't impart on ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's up.
I mean, we imparted on ourselves. That's a true statement. I mean, we've been miseducated, and we just continue to allow ourselves to be miseducated at this point. It's almost like we want it, you know, because I mean, all we got to do is just start acting differently or teaching the next generation differently. But for whatever reason, we don't.
And to speak on that, Auntie, tell people where they can find you who want to get educated on your natural hair classes.
Yes.
Hey.
This is a whole host, boy. He be bringing it home, boy.
I came right back on time for the money part.
My name is Carol Taylor, and I'm a natural hairstylist in Detroit, Michigan. I'm currently working at Textures by Nefertiti's Natural Hair Salon in Detroit on Woodward between Milwaukee and West Grand Boulevard. And I can also be reached at on Instagram at Her Roots, HERRUUTS. And I'm a freelance hairstylist as well. I'm available for teaching natural hairstyles, natural cuts, as well as styling your hair.
Nice.
Fantastic.
And Pooh Bear and Crystal helped me with the name, because Pooh Bear kept saying roots. I'm feeling roots. So I went with Her Roots. And Lexi actually had drawn a picture prior to that, which is, oh goodness, I happen to have it right here, which is my
Oh, I love it.
Oh, that's dope.
I love it.
Oh, that's dope. I ain't seen that before.
We took a picture. She had painted this.
Oh, wow.
And I took a picture of the picture and had it vectorized, and I use it for my logo.
Let's say
That is nice.
Yeah. What is that? What is that? That's a card, or is that your phone?
That's my card.
Okay.
The business
Dope.
card.
I love it. I love
Thank
it.
you.
Now, for those of us that want to get back to our natural roots that don't necessarily grow roots anymore, how will we do that?
So are you saying that there's some thinning?
Yeah, both of them. Look.
I a website is called No Roots.
oh my God.
No root.
No root. That was classic. That was hilarious.
Yeah. Weave.
No.
We had to-
You gotta have something to grab onto to have one.
So brother, right now think about how long have you been bald?
Going on like this, my fourth year.
All right, let's do the math, right? How much money have you saved? I've been bald 30-some years, right? I got a boat by not getting haircut.
Yeah, I know that's right.
And there. I got a boat.
Looking at it.
So how much a haircut cost now? About $25, $30?
Man.
Oh no, I don't even know how much they cost.
Yeah, they like more than that in some places.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Understanding in a barbershop, you ask me for anything over $7. Cause the last time I got a haircut, that's how much it cost.
And that was a lot.
You're not getting nothing, bro.
Well, you got a discount
Ten-
from being on
ten-
the Army base.
$10 with a tip.
$10 with a tip.
So you gonna tell
Wow.
me, think about that. If you're getting your haircut every week, I'm gonna go do my math. I gotta go get my calculator.
We had a money conversation.
Hey y'all, my wife kicked me out the house. She said I was too loud.
Sorry. We sorry.
Tell her it's the beer talking.
I'm not in my car.
You do a lot of shows in the car.
I do that because I'm usually on my way home from class, and then so I was so excited. Class got out early, so I called Sean like, "Yo, send me the link. Send me the link."
Send me the link. Yeah.
Come on, 91 gotta try to get in. Let's see, 91.
Yeah.
Go on unmute,
So-
Pops. Let's cross our fingers with the unmute.
We just gonna have to call Dad afterwards.
Come on. Send me a request to unmute, Josh.
I asked him. I never muted him back. He keeps muting himself.
But I'm saying, do it again. Send the request.
All right. I said, man, I asked
Well,
him.
I left my drink in the house.
Go get it.
You can't go back in. She in there drinking it now.
Right. With her feet up on the table.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, I thought he'd never leave.
He actually want to go on the. All right, cool.
Going to get
He
it.
go in the car.
Okay, can you hear us?
He about to see somebody walking just his car and peel off. We're gonna watch him.
That would be crazy. Pops, can you hear us?
We can sort of hear you.
Sorta.
He could probably hear us clearly, but we can't hear him.
Yeah.
Try to say something else, Pops. Let's try. We're trying to get you in.
I was trying to get in, but I can't see again.
Well, you in there a little bit.
Yeah, it's trying to work.
I was like, what?
We said the internet's trying to work. We can hear you a little bit. So how's your beer today?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, what you rating your beer today?
Well, Justin actually came back. His car is still intact.
He made it. Ooh.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
what you rate your beer, Grandpa?
Six. 5.65.
6.5.
Oh.
What's up, man? 5.7.
5.75 to 6. That's solid.
I thought he said 6'5". I was like, uh-oh. He like
Last
that.
week was 6.5, and then he's like, today it's not as good as 5.75.
His palate's gotten used to it now.
Yeah, it's going down.
You know, it
I
happens.
don't know who is Jay Rayner. I'm not
Oh,
College, you know, me and him have another podcast that we do, but he's on this one today as well.
sure. Okay. Hey, nice to meet you.
Are you muted, brother?
Yeah,
I'm just an old guy that was trying to be a part of the family, and I keep on coming back.
Okay.
that's why I call him nephew. That's the other nephew.
Nice to meet you. Yeah.
I'm saying, no, Avanti wants people to come back.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
I giving them titles. Like some people, Auntie Chris will be like, all right, then. Bye.
That's why I tell people, 'cause they say I could be rough. Like, you always mess with people. I'm like, if I mess with you, that means I like you. If I don't,
Hey, because he pulled out the Spartan
Uh-oh.
the Spartan shirt. I gotta say, what y'all think about them? What you think about them Wolverines?
uh-oh.
I mean, they in the
Think about
tournament. They in the tournament. Y'all ain't gonna root for them in the tournament. Like y'all out.
Think about what?
Ain't no Michigan love. No Michigan love.
I ain't rooting for nobody. Stay
Well, you
there.
did it.
The tournament is over, huh? It doesn't even
I
matter.
said, I hope they win it all. I hope U of M win it all. 'Cause that, you know, the Big Ten didn't show up, so I'm rooting for U of M. I hope that they go and take it. I like Juwan Howard. I felt like they
we
shouldn't have
got
took
we got an
Fab
honest
Five.
fan.
He don't speak for me. I don't support U of M in any way, shape, or form. I don't even care about the Big Ten. It's Michigan State versus everybody. Like I hope they don't win because like the last person to win it was us in the Big Ten. So I rather hold that down. If we ain't win,
I'm getting tired of them not having no arguments, man. They gotta at least win something, so at least the arguments can get that good.
They can win. They won 2 games and they can be out. That's
Hey, Pops.
They make it to the Final Four and lose.
It's looking like that's what's gonna happen. They're gonna have to play Gonzaga.
What's that? All right.
It's our new cup.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on. So I'm pinning it. I want to see it big. Oh, nice.
Okay. Oh, yeah, here brand cup style.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we
showing
gonna
out,
put these out like in the summertime. Yeah, we're gonna put them out in the summer.
Nice.
That's what's up. Yep.
You know what? I want to, because I gotta get back to work soon. Auntie, be the guest. Be the first one to give you a final thought today.
Final thought. Well, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure being with you all today. I have to say one thing. Me and Pops had that bet. We were sticking through thick and thin. You all did not give us a hard time. You didn't even send it in the group text about our big loss.
Your big loss.
Well, Pops been saying this trophy for weeks, for months.
That's what the trophy's about, kid.
The trophy is the I won the bet trophy.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah. This is the reminder for Pops. And this is the reminder. When I saw you, I said, that's right, because Carol's supposed to drive him here. Go get Pops. Y'all go stop at the bank, get my fresh dollar in the envelope, grab some steaks, grab some donuts, come on to Chicago.
Ever since Carol, she's had this trophy out.
The steaks aren't grabbable. From mine.
You get those when you get here. Get those when you get here.
We can't just grab them. We got to go to the steak,
Well, we can do that.
I'm with that.
But this is just a reminder to gas up the vehicle.
Woo! Yes.
White cow, baby.
Yeah.
White cow. I want white cow.
Yeah, Pops knows what that trophy is, don't you, Pops? Pops loves the trophy.
Dang. That's do away with that, Crystal. Do away with that.
No.
Do it.
So your nephew was even worse because I think I only had it for 1 or 2 shows, and the nephew was like, I need it every show. So
goodness.
Nephew.
Well, dang, I'm about to say, since Uncle Hank was then popped up, he should give a final thought, but he gone now. Justin, give your final thought, bro, before I know Auntie and Uncle and Grandpa gonna give his.
Oh yeah, so everybody tune in to Couch Boys Radio. We're probably gonna post it the week after, but we have a young lady that's coming on Jabs with Gab, and she is a lady fitness instructor and a boxing trainer, and also she specializes in rest and recovery.
Oh, sweet.
Wow.
I want to check it out.
I appreciate coming on. I appreciate learning about what I can do with my natural roots. We're going to start that website, www.noroots.com. Catch us on the flip side. The merch will be out soon.
Okay. I like that.
Uncle Hank with his hand out.
Hey, brother, don't get sued. Don't get sued. That's my name.
I'm going to change the way it's spelled.
Right. You. Instead of oh.
Yeah, he's good. That boy good.
Dog on American way.
What about you?
Hey, Lex.
Lexi just showed up.
Hi.
So we need to do a class on mental health, and Lexi can be our host.
Okay.
Yeah, and we want to
the community garden.
Yeah.
Oh, your grandfather said you were supposed to be on here this week anyway, so to discuss that.
Yeah, I hit up Adrian. She said she can be on like in 2 weeks. So I was like, okay, we can schedule it for then. And but yeah, I mean, we gotta get Lexi on for that because Grandpa wanted her on that episode. Well, we all
and mental health. We do
Grandpa
both.
explicitly said that he wanted Lexi on that episode.
Well, desert does have an impact on mental health, right?
Word.
Absolutely.
Word.
Oh, you watched that episode, Uncle Hank?
Oh man, I'm just educated like that.
I mean, that's the thing. If you don't know when and how you're going to eat the next time,
that's a traumatic experience.
That's why these babies struggle so much in school. You know, if they can't eat, they can't focus. That's why when the pandemic hit and these schools shut down, a lot of these babies went crazy because that was their only place of solace and source of food. You know, but that's a whole nother conversation. But
Dad always said that, you know, he could have did better in school, but the fact that he was focusing on a meal, he couldn't focus on schoolwork.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Can't pay attention when your stomach growling.
Baby.
You know, that's what the Panthers and a free breakfast program was all about, trying to give them a chance at the beginning of the day. Of course, we don't talk about that, you know.
Right.
That's too positive. But yeah, that was my final thought, right? I don't know, the Panthers, right? The Black Panther Party for self-defense. I like to add that part because nobody ever adds that. It's self-defense, like we were being brutalized in the community.
So Josh, that's the topic we could talk about. What was the name of the movie?
Messiah?
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Black Panther. Black Messiah.
Yeah.
Well,
That was a good movie.
Holiday movie. Shoot.
It was.
It was a good movie.
Yeah. Get yours.
But yeah,
You spoke for us, baby.
That was our final thought.
I your rib. You spoke for us.
You finally spoke some intelligent words, huh?
See, this what happens when he around these table men.
We get rejuvenated.
Because y'all know this man over here rubbing my feet and everything off camera. But he just talking in front of his
We're
table
off
man.
camera, are we?
Gotta uphold the image.
So where can we get one of those t-shirts, Crystal?
This comes from Urban Intellectuals, and it stands for peace. I'm sorry, I'm going the wrong way. Love, peace, and Black power.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can get it at urbanintellectuals.com, but you know, hit us up.
You might know somebody.
That's what we might know the owners.
We'll put the link in the
Oh, look, get my shirt real quick.
Just send a large to my address.
No, I don't need a large.
About me, I'm not talking about you.
And Pops, your hoodie is gonna be on the way. And nephew, I'm still working on that Google Pay thing. They've been going back and forth with.
Actually, you know what? It might just come down to me just cash at me.
Yeah, you don't have PayPal?
All right. I mean, yeah. I mean, I have PayPal, but when I tried PayPal, it didn't do it either.
Or now that's a real problem. Why you didn't tell me that?
I did. I told, but you know, that's off. That's an
Google
episode.
Pay.
That's off episode. We can't have people know.
I'm sorry. Okay.
But
We'll
anyway,
talk off the episode.
That's off episode. We've been off episode the whole time.
Anyway, Grandpa, you think you can say your final thought, or is it still messed up? Can you hear us?
We're gonna get them final thoughts.
Grandpa, can you hear us?
I'm gonna call you afterwards, Pop.
He not muted.
Maybe he ain't messing with you.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you for being a special guest and coming on today. Thank you, Uncle Hank, for not sending me a bill immediately after the show. And Lexi, we gotta get you on in a few weeks when we get the lady to come back on, because that's Grandpa really wants to talk about that again, and it'll be interesting. We want to know about the community garden. That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
And of course, thanks just for coming on. When he can get out of school early from teaching. But that's this week's episode. Next week we'll have another young lady on. Hopefully, I believe she's on the school education board for Detroit. So that'll be interesting. And everybody be cool and and make
happy birthday, Ashley.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
No, she everything she didn't want to be in here. She heard happy birthday. She would have stormed in here now.
It's her special day. She can do that. Come on with the aquamarine earrings and everything.
Tomorrow off. So I'm trying to be productive right now and knock stuff out.
You taking tomorrow?
Yeah.
I see you, sis.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, call me. All right, y'all. We'll see you guys.
Y'all shoot butterfly me this Tuesday.
Peace.